So today's mini training, we're going to be talking about our brain and what happens to our brain when we encounter a physical or a emotional drainer. I'll be talking about danger, excuse me. I'll be talking about the emotional part. That's the reason why we're in this group, because we want to understand the logic behind our emotions so we can break our patterns, master our triggers, so that we can live free and lead boldly. That's what we want to do. We want to live a free and bold life. And for us to live a free and bold life, we need to understand what is going on in our brain. We need to understand what's happening over here, or else we're just going to keep on living in a unconscious world and we're going to let this brain do whatever it wants. No, we want to take control of that brain and we want to start mastering our emotions. Now, what am I? If you want to start mastering your emotions, just comment master. Comment master if you want to master your emotions. All right, it's time to take back control. You no longer live in a world that you don't want to be living in. You are a leader, and it's time to take back that time, and it's time to take back control. Anyways, that was my little motivational speech for you today. Alrighty, so what are we going to be talking about in this mini training? In this mini training, we're going to be understanding our brain. I'm going to give you a super simple technique on how to master our emotions. And what's going to happen, I'm going to give us an example of what happens to our brain when we encounter a physical or emotional danger. Now, if you want the super simple framework, just type super simple. Just comment right now, super simple. Okay. So, sorry, I'm just getting my notes up. Okay, cool. So, number one, you can't solve a problem that your brain thinks is a threat or that your brain hasn't recognized. You can't solve a problem that, number one, you have not recognized, and number two, that you think it's a problem. So what happens to our brain? Today I'll be talking about the two parts of our brain. Just gonna stick our brain here. The amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. The amygdala is the fight, the flee, or the freeze part of our brain. The prefrontal cortex is the logical part of our brain. So the amygdala, gets triggered when we encounter a physical or a emotional danger. So from here, from the prefrontal cortex, what's happening is that our amygdala is going to take over when we encounter a physical or an emotional danger. Now, what I would like to talk about is the emotional part of things, because this group is about emotions. And what are emotional dangers? Okay, it could be rejection, criticism, failure, embarrassment, conflict. These are emotional dangers that take us from the prefrontal cortex to the amygdala. Now, that is the neuroscience behind our emotions. That when we see a physical or emotional danger, we're going immediately from the prefrontal cortex, we're going immediately to the amygdala. And we don't want to go to the amygdala because the amygdala is the reactive, it makes us react to the certain situation. So let's just give you an example in a physical danger. Earthquakes, right? Because it just happened right now, I think, in Venezuela. I'll just give you a perfect example. And I was studying the first responders over there and what they do. So first responders, when they want to practice physical danger, so they want to practice what they want to practice to get out of the amygdala to the prefrontal cortex, what they do is they put themselves in high stake situations. So they will create fake scenarios on purpose so that it triggers the amygdala in a fake situation so that they can practice getting away from the amygdala to the prefrontal cortex. So that is what like first responders do in their everyday life to practice from going from the amygdala to the prefrontal cortex. And what we want to do, because we're not talking about a physical danger, we're talking about a emotional danger. What we want to do is practice from beforehand, so that we don't go from the prefrontal cortex to the amygdala. We stay to the logical part of the brain, and that's what we want to do. And how we're going to do that, I'm going to give you a super, super simple framework. It literally just takes 10 seconds of your time to do. And this, you have to practice it every time, not just when you're perceiving the threat of criticism, of rejection, of conflict or embarrassment. You don't just practice this super simple framework when these emotions come up. You practice them beforehand so that you don't get triggered, so that you don't go to the amygdala, and so that you stay in the prefrontal cortex. Okay? If you would like the super simple framework, just type super simple. Chuck it in the comments. Super simple framework. Come on. Alrighty, so as I just mentioned, we have the amygdala, we have the prefrontal cortex, we have the physical danger, and we have the emotional danger. What happens is that when these two gets triggered, we get triggered over here in the amygdala, but we don't want to be triggered in the amygdala. We want to stay in the prefrontal cortex. So, what is the framework? Number one, we're gonna notice. Okay? We're gonna notice what the threat is. We're gonna notice what's going on in our body. I mean, I'm pretty sure you know that when you get a fright, whoa, somebody comes up to you and gives you a fright, your body changes. I'm pretty sure you can relate that when you become angry, your body changes. You grind your teeth. When you become excited or proud or happy, your physical body changes. So we're using our body and we want to notice what our body is doing when we come to an emotional threat. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna notice. After we notice, okay, number two, we're gonna name it. Super, super simple. Don't make it complicated. Okay? I'm feeling threatened at the moment. I don't like this confrontation. Feeling rejected, embarrassed, disappointed. And I know it's such a normal thing to do because a lot of people that I work with tend to do it, and so do I tend to do it sometimes. We try and say that we're all of these emotions. I'm feeling rejected, I'm feeling disappointed, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling embarrassed, I'm feeling criticized. Because it could happen, obviously, one situation could have all of these emotions, but we don't want to be focusing on so many emotions at once. We want to be focusing on one emotion so that we can tackle it. So that we're not in the amygdala where we're triggered. We're taking back to this prefrontal cortex where we have the logical part of our brain. So once we notice it, we're already telling the amygdala, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. We're already telling the amygdala, I see the threat. Like I'm already leading it. You're gonna notice it. After you notice, you're gonna name it. In neuroscience, they call this the labeling effect. Because when you label something, you can face it. And then after that, you're gonna navigate. I hope This is not being seen the other way around. If it is, I am sorry, but then you're going to navigate. What does navigate mean? You're going to see what you want to do. You want to see. You're actually, instead of letting your body and your emotions react, you're going to lead it. And you're going to say, okay, what are the parts I'm going to take? I'm actually going to take a breather. So sorry, I'm just going to take a breather and I'm going to come back to this situation. Or you can choose not to respond. And you can actually choose to walk away. Not be triggered. You don't want to be triggered and walked away. You want to have the responsive reaction of wanting to walk away. You want to maybe lower your voice. Maybe you want to change the posture of your body. So you're going to navigate the path you want to take once you notice this emotion, these negative, unwanted emotions. Or if you're in a physical danger, you want to notice it anyways, but I'm going to just stick to this part over here, the emotions. If you want this super simple framework, comment super simple framework. You don't become irrational because you become emotional. You become emotional because your survival brain, which is the amygdala, has taken over. Has literally taken over your body, your mind, and your emotions. The amygdala is in the lead now. But you don't want the amygdala to be in the lead. You want to be in the lead. So if you want to be the leader of your negative, unwanted emotions, you want to notice, name, and navigate. Once you notice, name, and you navigate, your brain becomes happy and in control. We have a happy brain because it's not reacting, it's leading because it's gone back to the prefrontal cortex. And what happens when you have a happy brain? You have a happy life. That's you, relaxed. That's you, that when you come home after a stressful day of work and you realize, I didn't want to react that way, and you keep on thinking about it. That's you when you come home after that stressful day and you say, instead of reacting because of my amygdala, I went to the prefrontal cortex, I had the logical part of my brain, I took a rational and reasonable stance to the situation, and now you're a happy brain and you are happy. And this causes a beautiful ripple effect in your life. And instead of your emotions leading you, you lead your emotions. You are the leader. And that's how we want to be in our life. We don't want to be sitting at home after a day's work wondering, I wish I didn't do that. I wish I said this instead of that. Or after an argument with your partner and saying, how I wish I didn't hurt you so much. Instead of saying, how I wish I didn't, you want to start saying, wow, I really handled that situation well. I said what I wanted to say. I took a breather when I needed to take a breather. We want to be happy. And to be happy, we need to master our emotions. To master our emotions, we need to notice, name it, and navigate. If you want the detailed, super simple framework, comment super simple and I'll send it to you. Alrighty, have a super blessed day, guys.